Great pleasure to welcome back to the show a good friend of us and a good friend of jazz here in the Sarasota area. He's been performing coming up on March 5th as part of the Sarasota Jazz Festival with his friend Peter Appleyard and Kat Hefner. A great concert at the Players Theater starts at 8 p.m. We're joined now by Dick Hyman. How are you, Dick?
Well, I'm fine. May I correct you, please? It's the 5th. It is the 5th at the Players.
5th, right. Okay, yep. That's coming up.
Maybe I misunderstood you. At any rate, it's Friday night. And it is at 8 o'clock, as you say, and Peter and I will be playing together again. We fairly often do this kind of thing, you know. Peter got me to play in a sort of a Canadian presentation in Lakeland in January. We did several shows over 2 days in the daytime, along with some Canadian acts, Rita McNeil and some other nice people.
They're happy up in Canada now because they won the gold medal, so there'll be some happy people there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, at any rate, we, Peter and I, as I said, play often together, and we have another date up in a place in Canada called Gravenhurst in July, toward the end of July. And we enjoy doing this. We played the Players Club for the Sarasota Jazz Club, was it a year ago? Was it 2 years?
2 years ago, because I saw that show with you and Peter, and then last year was at the Van Wazer. You did the Music of the 50s show.
That's right.
Yeah, which was a great show. And how did you and Peter first meet? Had you known each other back in television days, or?
I really don't know. I've played with Peter so many times, both in Canada and the U.S. I can't tell you how we met, but somehow or other. I don't think we ever both played with Benny Goodman at the same time, but of course we played with him at different times.
Yeah, Peter played, of course, with, he always tells those great stories of working with Benny, who was kind of a character, wasn't he?
Well, Benny was a great guy in many ways, but yes, he was a kind of a character. And Peter and I both individually got along with him fine, but there are some stories which are better not repeated too often.
That's right. Well, he put out the great music. That's all the people really need to know. But a great talent, and of course Peter on the vibes. And I'm sure part of the show, as you always throw in when you work with Peter, is when you do that piano duet where he does the two-finger playing, right?
We do that, and you know the origin of that was around 1936 when Lionel Hampton recorded that way. I think it was called Central Avenue Breakdown, and he played on the top part of the piano as though he were playing the vibes, and the accompanying pianist at that time, I'm not quite sure who that was, but he played the lower part, and that's generally how we do it, except Peter and I kind of bump each other out of the way and change roles.
Well, it always gets a tremendous reaction when you do that. Well, when you do a show like this, Dick, I know you put, I guess, a set list together, but there's also, I guess, room for improvising. You do a lot of that, don't you?
It is mostly improvised. We will rehearse, of course, with Kat Hefner and make sure we know what we're doing with the medley in which she's included. For the rest, we have some tunes in mind, and we just have some keys in mind, and we just do it. We know each other very well.
It should be a great show, and always a part of the Sarasota Jazz Club Festival every year. I guess you've been in it since you moved down to Florida, haven't you? Been part of it.
Well, I think that was one of the reasons we moved to Florida. It was because I was playing often for the Jazz Club of Sarasota that we began gradually to live here, and then after a while we made it a complete move. But at first it was just an additional place to be in the wintertime, and it turned out very well for us. We love it here.
Yeah, you performed all over the country, all over the world. Have you ever seen another town, Dick, that has appreciated jazz more than Sarasota? It seems like a lot of cities have jazz festivals, but Sarasota really seems to have a special one, doesn't it?
Well, Sarasota is a very large jazz club. I think maybe it's been larger in the past, but it's still very active. Puts on concerts of one kind or another almost weekly, and we're fortunate enough to be doing that. This whole week is the Sarasota Jazz Festival, as you know, all in the Players Theater this year. And
we invite people to go to the website, which is jazzclubofsarasota.com, for ticket information throughout the week. And if you want to see Dick Hyman, Peter Appleyard, Kat Hefner, it's coming up on March the 5th, 8 o'clock show at the Players. Great venue. It's kind of an intimate theater, so that's a great place to play, isn't it?
Yeah, we enjoy that. It's well, Well, you know, it's fun to play in big halls and get that amplification back at you, but it's also maybe equally fun, maybe even more so for a small unit to play in a smaller hall and really know the audience was there.
Well, Dick, always great to talk to you. Hang on the line if you will, but Dick Hyman has been our guest. Again, see him this Friday with the great Peter Appleyard, and thanks for talking with us.
Thanks very much, Doug. It's a pleasure.